Hello, thank you for joining me. You're back. Appreciate that. Say, what we're going to be doing in this video is putting in some additional walls in here and show you how to, and the walls we're going to be putting in are going to be our interior walls. We have our exterior walls already drawn in. What we're going to be doing in this video is putting in some of our interior walls, and again, modeling off of our apartment that we built in AutoCAD last week. So what I like to do, if you remember correctly, we had a bedroom up here in the upper left-hand corner. And then we have kind of a closet down here, which kind of takes up that whole wall. And now that bedroom goes into a hallway and a bathroom and stuff like that. Let's do this. Let's draw the first two walls. Let's draw the first bedroom wall here, and then the bathroom wall here. Of course, that bedroom wall is a shared wall between the bed and the bath. And then the bathroom wall, which is a shared wall between the bath and the kitchen. And then we'll draw that wall that kind of separates the bedroom from the closet. And then the exterior wall that separates the closet from the rest of the apartment building that is in this orientation would be south. So that's north and that's south down here. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Go to the wall button. We don't want to use our exterior wall. We want to make sure we find our interior wall. There's going to there's got to be some settings we're going to have to choose first before we kind of get going on. And here's the wall I was looking for. Interior 4.5 inch drywall dash wood stud dash drywall wall. And yeah, we want to start drawing, but not quite yet. Let's go up to our options bar and make sure everything's correct. Unconnected at 15 feet? Nope, we want to do level 2. We want to go from level 1 to level 2. So our base constraint here is level 1. Since we're starting on level 1, you can see that in our project browser. And what it's asking for is, where do you want to go with that wall? We want to go all the way up to level 2. So it's going to gray out to 15 feet because now it's going to level 2, and level 2 should be at about, I don't know, 12 feet. It should be defined, but we'll cover that here in just a moment. Location line, finished face exterior. No, let's use wall center line for now. And then we're going to make modifications when we put our dimensions in there. And yes, we want it chained. And I think we're all ready to go. So this wall is about 9 feet. So again, just somewhere around 9 feet is fine. Draw that down, just like we did in AutoCAD. Escape once. Let's do that next wall. And it's supposed to be 15 feet total, but 9 feet minus 15 feet is about 6 feet, so let's make that about 6 feet. It doesn't have to be precise, just kind of eyeball it for now. So those two walls, before we go any further, let's go ahead and dimension these walls and show you some dimensioning strategies that'll go along with these walls. So this wall we want to make sure is 9 feet from that wall. So when we click on that wall, it kind of goes to the end point down here, and all sorts of dimensions are thrown in here. You have a linear or a vertical dimension over here at 15 feet 6 inches, and this is the one we're kind of looking at, the 9 foot 6 inch one. We also have this one, which is a distance from the end point of that wall to the end point of this wall, and same thing over here vertically and horizontally. But yeah, what we really want is that one. So let's click on this one for a permanent dimension. Oops, that's not the right one. But if we delete that, the temporary dimension is still there. So let's go ahead and scoot in just a little bit more. It's actually this one. Remember I mentioned in the last video how dimensions sometimes come in pairs? So that's the same case with this one. So this comes in a pair. If we click on that one, then those two dimensions become permanent dimensions. Kind of weird having it in pairs, but in a way it gives you kind of more of an absolute reference with the one dimension, and maybe a relative one with the second one. We can get rid of that second one. You can't really click on that dimension and delete it because it'll delete them both. So Control Z will get that back. But what we can do is take that dimension and put it concurrent with the other dimension, at the end point of the other dimension, and it disappears. Look at that. So let's take that dimension, put it up top where we want it to be. Not quite in the place where we want it to be. And we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to take that dimension, take this grip, move it off to the side. Remember a tab key. Move that there. And this one, it's okay to have it in the middle, but to be consistent with our AutoCAD drawing, we're going to take it and put it on that wall too. And because of the wall thickness of 4.5 inches and the 1/8 of an inch extra that's in that exterior wall, we have some fractions in here that are kind of small, down to a 1/16 of an inch. So let's click on this wall. By clicking on that wall, we get those temporary dimensions back in, including the dimensions we just had. But what we want to do when we click on that wall is change this dimension value, and that's 9 foot. And we can enter it the same as we did in AutoCAD, just 9 foot 4, enter. And there we got it. Kind of easy, but yet it's got a lot of steps involved. It's tricky because there are a lot of steps, but once you get used to the steps, it becomes easier to work with. Alright, this wall, same thing, 15 feet. What dimension are we looking for? Now this dimension doesn't come in pairs now, it's just a single dimension. But we're clicking that, makes it a permanent dimension. Drag this guy up here. And we're going to make that up here. And then what we're going to do is take that dimension just like we did before and find that grip that's on the side and drag that over here with our tab key. Pick up the exterior wall. Click on this one, tab key. The inside of that interior wall, the first one you run into, click on that wall, click on the dimension, 15, enter. And that's that wall. That goes pretty quick. So that's enough for this video. The next video we're going to put in some of those horizontal walls a little bit south, and then we'll go from there.